Okay, we live. And we are live. Hey, welcome back, JJ.
Hello.
How's
Dan.
it going?
Good.
Yeah,
I
great.
think.
Welcome, everybody. So this is our weekly YouTube AMAs. This is the support team and the marketing team. And
Hello,
so, yeah.
guys.
So double feature today. And of course, we're here to answer all your questions. So if you've got any questions about Ledger products, any issues that you want solution for, but also you want to learn about what 2023 has in store, at Ledger and also in crypto, or you just want to, have our opinion about 2022 and the coming year, then go ahead. You can just drop your questions in the chat and we'll answer them live. And JJ, how are you today?
Pretty good.
Pretty
Really good.
Okay. You had a good holiday?
Well, I didn't celebrate that much, and holiday was on the weekend, so it was just a normal weekend.
Yes, it was just a normal weekend. But Merry Christmas to you all, guys. And this is the last YouTube AMA of the year, so we'll, I guess, do a rapid fire at the end.
Yeah, I hope so.
Share some predictions. And,
if we have fire too. Fire.
Yes. Yeah.
Bullets to fire.
Exactly. So let's look at the questions.
Yeah. All right. We got a few coming in.
Yeah.
Let's see. Hi. This
So what's the name?
Junhyun Park.
Hey.
Hi, I just got my Nano X today and set it up. I got it from the retailer approved by Ledger. I got it in the orange box. Is this legit?
Yes, it is legit. So those retailers, like Ledger devices that are sold by retailers, come in different packaging. One is an orange box. The other one is a purple box. I think we've got all different boxes, right?
Yeah. And like, this, to prove the genuinity of the device, we have a tutorial on our YouTube that you can just check out.
Yeah.
And he also have another question. I assume it's a he, or maybe it's a she. Sorry in advance. Also, why am I not able to install XDC every time it says error?
So that's a good question. It might be because your version of Ledger Live is out of date. In this case, you need to update Ledger Live. Make sure you update the firmware as well, and and then finally update the app. You also want to make sure you have the Ethereum app installed before you install the XDC app, because the XDC app is an extension to the Ethereum app. So try that. Try to install Ethereum first, and then XDC. You also want to make sure you have enough storage on the device. So I think the XDC app, Ethereum and XDC, will take about 70 to 80 kps. So make sure you've got enough space for that, and try again. If you still get the issue, then please open a ticket via support.ledger.com. There is a contact us button. Click on that, fill in the form, and send us a picture and your logs as well, so we can take a look at what's going on.
He said it's all updated, Firearm and etc. I was able to install after downloading ETH app.
Okay, so here you go.
Yeah,
that was the
that
ETH
makes
app.
sense.
Yeah, XDC app is an extension to the ETH app, so that's what went wrong.
Okay, so pooed in the cereal. Wow, that's a
Nice.
That's a name. Question 1: when will we get UTXO labeling and management for Bitcoin in Ledger Live?
UTXO labeling. Okay, well, so we have a feature that, so we don't have that, to be clear, but we have a feature that's close to it called coin control, where you can, I don't know if you've used it before, JJ.
I've not.
No.
No.
It's like you can, you've got all your UTXO that comes into your account, but you can actually decide if you want to spend, when you send out coins, you can decide which UTXO you want to spend. So you want, for example, the start with the oldest UTXO or the newest UTXO or like whatever UTXO.
Okay.
So coin control will let you select which UTXO you want to spend. So maybe that's closer to what you want. There is an article on the Help Center as well. You just type coin control.
Yeah, coin control.
Coin control. Yeah.
That's the word to type. Yachting K? Bro, is it possible for someone to hack my ledger, like without physical contact, in a software way?
JJ, you can take that one.
Well, technically, the only thing that can be hacked from a ledger is the user. So that's you. So yes, if you think you're a software, then you can be hacked. The reason is ledger hardware, unless you sign a bad smart contract that says send all my coins from this account to whichever address, or you get asked for 24 words and then you give out your 24 words. Those are the only two ways where you can lose your asset from your ledger.
Yeah. And to be honest, like most of the issues, when we see this kind of issue at support, people losing coins, it's 99% of the time, 99.9% of the time, it's like people that have given the recovery phrase to someone else.
Yes.
And then the rest of that is like malicious transactions, but usually it's like, or like some people get poison attack. I don't know if you heard of those?
Or the dust attacks.
Yeah.
So basically, those are, and also there's address swapping.
That happens as well. Yeah.
That also happens.
Yeah.
So what address swapping is something I know. The other two I don't. So address swapping is basically you're using a software wallet to interface with your ledger, and your seed is on your ledger, so your private key is on the ledger. But there's malware on your computer. Last minute, before you send the transaction, it'll show the address on the software wallet as the one you want to send, but actually in the back end they changed it so that on your ledger screen it actually is the hacker's address. So if you don't match those two and you found out, okay, this is not the address I'm supposed to send it to, then you just send it to the wrong address. So then people think they got hacked, but in reality it's malware on your computer. And that's why you should always check your ledger screen to make sure, because your ledger screen is connected to the secure element, which means it's not hackable. So then you can see where that transaction is actually supposed to go.
So what's on the screen is always the truth, right? It's what's going to happen.
What you see is what you sign.
Exactly.
On the screen, not on your computer screen or on your phone screen.
And so there is the new version of this scam is called address poisoning, and it's basically like a scammer will find your address somehow on the block explorer usually, and they'll send you a transaction, very like a Dutch transaction, and their address will look very similar to your address. The first 4 and last 4 characters will be the same, because they're able to craft, using open source tools, you can craft like addresses that look very similar to someone else's. And so they just hope that you get lazy and then you pick up the transaction from the transaction history and send them coins. So as you said, like the best way to not fall victim to those kind of scam is to just
always check your ledger screen. And the other thing that I do these days is I actually ask the receiver to always send me their address again and again, even if it's a recurring transaction. I ask them, okay, can you confirm this on your ledger and confirm it on your computer screen, and then send me that address before you send you anything. I send you anything. That's
good. So be careful. Always check your address. Don't grab addresses from your transaction history, right? Because you might get poison scammed.
It's like 0.1% chance you will, but once you do, then it happens. Jen K. Okay. Jordy Q. Did you already fix the issue about apps on NanoX from yesterday?
I'd have to take a look again, but as far as I know, everybody's affected. But we still, we're still looking into the issue. Follow us on Twitter for updates. I think there will be a fix deployed soon. But yeah, some people are still affected. But not everyone. Yeah.
Okay, so that's done.
Mm-hmm.
Jen K again. Are third-party wallets trustworthy when using with Ledger Nano? Yes. Yes, as long as you make sure that your seeds are actually on your hardware wallet.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other thing is, sometimes for a software wallet, third-party wallet, they ask you to put in your 24 words. Never do that.
Yeah, never.
Because then your seed are on the internet, exposed
Yeah.
to the internet, and then you can be hacked.
MetaMask will do that sometimes. It will say, hey, import new wallet, or like create new wallet, or like,
Yeah.
you know, the flow, the
Yeah.
onboarding flow. It will let you type your ledger recovery phrase.
So always just make sure when you set up anything, if it's asking for your 24 words, just don't do it.
Don't do it.
Yeah. Pinterest Express. I have a new Apple mobile. When I click on the Ledger app, it says, "Welcome to Ledger. Let's get started." What I need to do to transfer my private keys so I can see my holdings. Thanks.
So he has, where are the funds?
So well, it doesn't say. So we assume this is on your Ledger, right? If the private key is on the Ledger, and they set up a new Apple phone, and click on the Ledger Live app, and it says get started. So essentially you need to connect if it's a Ledger Nano X, then you can connect it to Ledger Live via Bluetooth. So we have tutorials on that. So if you just Google how to connect your Ledger Nano X to an iPhone, that should work.
It sounds like the normal onboarding process, to be honest. Like there shouldn't be any issue. The device will generate a 24-word recovery phrase for you during the onboarding. Keep the phrase very carefully. Never share it with anyone, because anyone who's access with the phrase will be able to have access to your account. Yeah.
And what I need to do to transfer my private keys so I can... So this might be another scenario where the private keys are actually from a software wallet.
Yeah.
Right. Say a MetaMask. So in that case, what you want to do is actually you set up the ledger fresh. And so you have a new set of 24 words, and then you transfer... I think you call it punk. And then you transfer the funds on your MetaMask to the newly set up Ledger Nano. So this way you don't have to worry about those 24 words which are on the software wallet to be exposed to the internet.
So create new accounts, new Ledger accounts, and then move the funds over. Right? Don't reuse the same recovery phrase on your Ledger. Wow. Okay, let's go.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Can we stake USDT or Bitcoin directly through Ledger Nano X?
No, you can't stake either of those because Bitcoin is not a proof of stake coin, so you can't stake it. USDT, it's not a proof of stake coin, so you can't stake it. What you can do is lend it via a DeFi protocol called I forgot the name.
Is it Alchemy?
Alchemy, yeah, thank you. Alchemy, which is in the Discover tab on Ledger Live. So you click Discover, Alchemy. There is a Hub Center tutorial that will show you how to do it.
Alchemy as in ALKEMI.
Yep. So check that out, and you'll be able to land that up. But it's not staking. Staking and lending are very different. Yeah.
God, I'm gonna butcher your name again. I'm gonna just call you Park, please. How can I have multiple addresses to receive crypto? I heard it is not a good idea to use one address constantly. Can you explain how to create multiple addresses? This one is easy.
Yeah.
Depending on what... So if you're using Ledger Live, easy. You just create different accounts, and then you can basically have different addresses to receive different things.
And that's all.
The other thing that you can do is actually you get multiple ledgers set up with multiple different private keys. Like, for example, you can have just one ledger that is just like doing your DJ stuff.
Yeah, that's crazy mode though.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, as you said, like keep clicking the add accounts button, right?
In Ledger Live, there's a button to add account, and then you can just add account. Amox. Hello. Amox. Hello, I bought the Ledger Market Forgotten Ruins Nano X a few days ago, and I would like to know if I'm eligible for the airdrop. Minted NFT 186. We don't have any airdrops for Forgotten Ruins, I think. If we do, I will know. And if there are airdrops, it would probably be through Ledger Market Genesis Pass. Yeah, so that's as much as I know. If you're asking for the redeeming time frame, then we're going to announce it once it's ready.
What about Dead Fellas redeeming? Has it been announced?
Also in Q1 2023.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah,
Awesome.
so stay tuned. Spideral Tick. Are there plans for Flare app in Ledger Live or any ETA? If so,
No, well, yes, and yes. There is an app. It's ready, but it's not listed yet. We'll launch the app when Flare goes live.
Yeah.
Or like a week before it goes live. But for now, as you know, the network hasn't gone live yet.
Yeah. So we can't really airdrop. You can't really receive your airdrop if it's not
Yeah.
airdropped.
Yeah.
So the app is not live yet.
Mm.
Tripolar Labs. Hello, will Ledger support the Flare? I think it's the same Flare
Yes.
network.
Yes.
Just curious, Dan, can you further elaborate on why XDC can only be installed upon installing ETH? I don't get it 100%.
Okay. Well, it's because so XDC is most of the code that underpins the XDC network is actually borrowed or forked out of Ethereum. So XDC is just no offense to XDC team, but it's heavily borrowed from the Ethereum code base, right? So that means that on our side, the app to interact with Ethereum and the app to interact with XDC can be the same, right? So that's why the XDC app, the XDC app is just a plugin on top of the Ethereum app, because like the code base is so similar. So I hope that answers your question.
There you go.
Yeah.
Sergio Rodriguez. Hello, Ledger team. If I use the extra secure passphrase, which I think 25th word, how I create an account only in this vault. It's a little bit harder to explain, but you have a help center article. So if you Google what was it, passphrase, how to set up a passphrase ledger, you'll find the help center article. So this way, Dan basically did a explanation for like 10 minutes, walk you through the steps to set it up. It'll be much clearer there.
Yeah, and there is a video on this very YouTube channel. If you go into video, I think my last video was about passphrase. It's called How to Create Secret Accounts with a passphrase. So you can look that up. It's a 10-minute video.
Yeah. Marcus Leo, when will Ledger support staking for Hedera in XRP? Oh,
When, JJ, when?
When? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's still in the works.
Still in the works, yeah.
Yeah.
XRP, no staking, unfortunately. XRP is not a proof of stake. To do staking, you need
To have a proof stake network.
Yes.
So Bitcoin doesn't have staking because
Yeah.
it's a proof of work network, and XRP isn't a traditional blockchain.
Correct.
So it doesn't. The consensus mechanism isn't staking.
Yes.
So it doesn't come a proof of stake rather. So
Yeah.
it doesn't have staking features. HBAR, it's something that everybody has asked from the HBAR community. It seems I get like 1,000 people
Yeah.
asking
Oh, yeah,
every
yeah.
day. But once it's ready, it's ready.
Yeah, it's coming, guys. Like it's definitely in the works.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. You can follow us on Twitter. That's where we, advertise new features and everything. So we'll definitely let you know. I know the community really wants this feature, so it's in the work.
Hoo, please add the BRC20 blockchain to the ledger. What is BRC?
BRC, yeah.
What is BRC20?
Interesting. So we'll look into this. I'm curious to know.
Bitgert.
Bitgert, huh? Okay. Well, we'll escalate that to the devs. To be honest, I've never heard of this standard.
Pascal Gauthier. I'm not sure if this is the actual Pascal or.
Hi, boss.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Good job, guys. Happy birthday. Happy New Year. Thanks.
Happy New Year.
Yeah. Jonathan, Crypto Talk. Yes.
Yeah. Stay tuned for the hot takes at the end.
Mr. Molabite. Hi there. When will Ledger fully support Theta? Is there still an experimental feature pending review?
Yes, correct. So the Theta app is listed, so you can already use it. You'll need to use MetaMask to create accounts yet because it's not supporting Ledger Live right now. Although I would have to double check that. It might be supported right now. But if it is, you can just activate developer mode in Ledger Live. So you go to settings, experimental features, developer mode. Then you go back into my Ledger. you'll find the app Terra, download that onto your device, and then go back into accounts in Ledger Live and then try to add an account. If you find Terra, add your account. If you don't find it, then you'll have to use MetaMask to add your account.
So that should be clear.
I hope
if
so.
it's not clear, do we have a help center article?
Yeah,
for this?
there's a help center
Yeah.
article also. Support.ledger.com, that's the help center. Just type Terra, you'll find the documentation on how to do it.
There you go.
Sorry,
Rizal Kareem Arif. Hey guys, I have a backup of my 24 key phrase. I backed it up a long time back. If I want to recheck if my private keys are okay, how do I do it? Huh. That's
I know.
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, you go.
Okay, there is an app called Recovery Check. So you can download it. You connect your Ledger device to Ledger Live. You go into My Ledger and you type Recovery Check. That will download an app on your device, and then you'll be able to type your words into your device, and then the device will tell you if the words are the words that are in your device. So if your private keys are correctly backed up. And there is no consequences to the test. The test will be return success or a failure. But if you fail the test, then it doesn't mean the device won't reset or anything like this. So it's perfectly safe to do it. If the test comes back negative, meaning the words on your recovery sheet are wrongly backed up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in that situation, what would you do?
I would definitely move all the funds of the device
Yeah.
to safe accounts, reset the device, create a new recovery phrase, and then send the funds back to
Yeah.
the new account.
So if you only have one ledger in that case, you'll have to basically use a software wallet.
Yeah, or an exchange wallet. Yeah,
Or an
like
exchange
Binance,
wallet.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little cumbersome.
Yeah.
But
Or you just get another ledger.
or you get
Get
which is-
another ledger, and then
Yeah.
you basically do a backup after you
Mhm.
do that whole process. So then you have two sets of private keys
That's excellent. Yeah.
of the same key.
Yeah,
Gary Chen. Hi, may I ask, is it okay to share with you error logs with the support team?
Yes.
My ledger keeps saying connect error.
It not only it's okay, but it's super important for us to have the logs so we can investigate the issue and fix the bugs. So please
Yeah.
do share those logs. We really need it to help you. And for you guys, if you're about to open a ticket with us, please do share your logs systematically so we can get back to you faster.
If this is a user in China, this is something that we're dealing with, right?
Yes. Like as in like they would have connection issues.
Yeah,
With
so
Ledger
this
Live,
might be the
Mm.
Ledger Live desktop
Mm.
version, which we're working on a solution for. But in the
Right.
meantime, they can probably use a VPN on mobile.
Yeah, mobile
Yeah.
should work. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
We can't say much more beyond that. Relax atmosphere. Relax atmosphere.
Oh,
Happy
there's
New
a lot
Year.
of questions.
Thank you very much.
Happy New
we'll
Year,
go
man.
through the questions. Diallo Mamadou. Wow, sorry, I'm just butchering names. If I lose
It's
my
okay.
ledger
Sorry.
and in need of my cryptos before a new one can be sent to me, may I use my friend's wallet by using my seed phrase to have access to my account?
Yes, you can, but you'll have to make sure that you reset the device. Once you take your recovery phrase, take your friend's ledger device, for example, you reset their device if they're okay with it. So you'll have to make sure that your friend have their recovery phrase correctly backed up.
Yep.
I mean, it's really complicated, to be honest. Like if you can get a new device, that's probably better.
Yeah.
Because it's all like I wouldn't recommend it, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's doable, but it's just a lot of work, and you want to make sure that your friend doesn't look at your recovery phrase as well. You want to make sure you reset your device at the end. I mean, it's just a lot of work.
It's you're better off if it's not urgent, just wait until your own device comes.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
the backup, right? You mentioned backup before. Backups are good to have.
Yeah, that's why it's good to have a backup.
Yeah.
So I think I have 3 devices with the same private keys just for that specific purpose.
Right.
JPEG Stay Alina, when Ledger widget. This is the new iOS widget, right?
You tell me. I've never heard of it.
Yeah, I don't think that's a focus for us.
Okay. Sorry, dude.
Sorry. Amox, they said the first 2000 mint will get an airdrop. Okay. That's the Forgotten Ruin one. that would be coming from Forgotten Ruins instead of coming from Ledger. So still, I don't have details for you. We just have to.
So
wait.
they'll take a snapshot and then.
Yeah, they
airdrop
will probably take a snapshot, and then in the game they will airdrop something.
Will you guys?
And Mr. or Mrs. Park, thanks. Just curious, does having one address to receive crypto increase the chance of being hacked at all? Lots of conflicting arguments on this one.
No, it does not. You can create all your addresses are tied to a recovery phrase. You can that recovery phrase can sprout as many addresses as you want. It doesn't really matter. And what really the only again like we talked about it at the beginning of the stream, but the two ways you can really get wrecked is by one, sharing your recovery phrase with someone else. In this case, they'll be able to have access to all your accounts. Two is by mistakenly sending funds to the wrong address, by not verifying, on your screen where you're sending funds to or where you're receiving funds to. So those are the two main ways people get wrecked.
And how many accounts can you add on NanoX?
As many as you want.
Yeah. Gary, I think we answered your question just there. And Jonathan, is VeChain in your plans to add to Ledger Live, please? Would like to know. VeChain.
VeChain, yeah, it's in the works. It's coming as well. For now you can use Sync. It's also safe, but VeChain is going to come to Ledger Live.
Yeah. Johan Pinsonsli. Hello. Can we expect Ergo and Coty integration soon?
Ergo is in the work. Cody, I'm not sure.
Not sure.
Yeah.
Hoo, are we having the stacks in China? I guess is it able to ship to China?
That's a good question. I guess technically yes. We want to sell in China. That's for sure.
We also have resellers in China. If you're in China, go on WeChat and then search.
But we have on the website. We should have.
Yeah, we have it on our retailer website.
Yeah.
So if you just Google retailer Ledger, you'll be able to see the name of that reseller. But they used to be on Tmall and on what's the other one? The other one. But now you can search on WeChat, and they have a WeChat store that you can use.
Okay.
Spiderotic. Not really a question, rather a thank you for doing these videos and your products. In the craziness in the market and news, it is so needed. Lots of new folks to help keep secure and safe. Thank you very much.
We love doing those, so thank you for the kind words.
Yeah. Please, we need BRC20 blockchain. We want to buy Bryce coin without tax, and the dev team said we should let you add BRC20 network so that we can buy. So the best thing to do actually is have the devs team get in touch with our devs team on developer.ledger.com. So this way it can help with speeding up the integration. So that's the best way actually. F field, just to confirm, if you remove an account from Ledger due to lack of space, then the related crypto are not affected apart from not being able to view them in your portfolio anymore. This is correct. Yeah. It's
correct. And it's not, so I think what you have in mind is the app that's on your device. You can remove both the app from the account from Ledger Live and the app from your device, and your funds will still be fine. You can reinstall the app, re-add the account, and then you'll find your coins. So in both ways, it's perfectly safe.
Gary, I suggest you start a case with our support team on this issue, the connectivity issue.
Yeah.
And then they should be able to help you. Step R, we need special offer.
Yeah, Juju, what the hell?
What do you have in mind, Step R? Let us know. Destructive. Is there a way to password protect the Ledger Live software?
Yes, you can. There is a password functionality.
Yeah, it's on your phone and on the desktop.
Yeah,
both.
Right.
Yeah,
it's somewhere in the settings. Like just look into the settings. It's somewhere in there.
Yeah. Metopian. Hi, Windows 8.1 now doesn't seem to be supported.
Yes, the latest version of Ledger Live, which is 2.51.0, no longer supports Windows 8 and macOS 10.13 and below. So if you are running those OS, you've got two options. Either you update your OS, which is recommended, or you can roll back to a previous version of Ledger Live, which you can find on our signature page. So Ledger signature, you should be able to find it. And then you download an older version. So for example, the previous version 2.50.1. You can find the address here. Do you have the signature page? Maybe we can drop this.
Yeah, this is
Okay. So let's drop it. We're dropping the signature page in the chat, and you
Yeah.
can look it up.
Yeah, just send it. All right. Okay, so you can find the legacy apps there. Jimmy Dean Coincracker. Oh, what a name. Can I use Ledger Live on several different computers? Yes. As many computers as you'd like. You probably don't want to leave it on a public computer.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, for sure. Or remove your accounts.
Yeah.
Like when you're done.
Yeah. But it doesn't have your private keys in there, so technically all your stuff is safe.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of people think that Ledger Live is where the coins live, but
No.
it's really not, right?
Yeah. Your coins live on the blockchain.
Mm.
Your private keys live in your ledger, and Ledger Live is just an interface. You can
Yeah.
also use other third-party wallets as an interface. So, really depends on. But again, Ledger Live will have your account information, like the balance
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
in each account. So if you don't have a password and it's a public computer,
Mm-hmm.
and then another person will
Yeah.
likely see it,
Yeah.
and the implication there, you can imagine.
Yeah. You can get stalkers like
Yeah.
that. But you can also remove your accounts. Let's say you install it on someone else's computer. You can add your accounts, and then when you're done, you can remove the accounts from Ledger Live. It doesn't destroy your coins or anything. It just like remove the account from it just hides the account from the interface.
All right.
Wow, lots of
how-
questions.
How not? Who's sorry? I don't think this is
Uh-huh.
Metopian. Okay, yeah. I think we helped you with this one. Maxwell's equation. Gary,
Cool.
you can use Tor through snowflakes.
Ah,
Maybe you
well,
guys should talk.
Yeah.
Yeah. JPEG stay Alina. Do you encounter a display burn issue in Ledger Nano S?
Yes, it does happen, especially if your nano is a little old, then the display will lose backlighting, which, like for example, I have a Nano S which is very old. It's probably six years old, and it's lost a lot of brightness. It's still visible, but I would, to be honest, as a former Nano S user, I've updated to Nano S Plus or Nano X future stacks, and honestly, like the jump from Nano S to just Nano S Plus is great. Like I love the Nano S Plus. It's the similar kind of experience, but much better, bigger screen.
Yep.
You're gonna love it.
Yep, love the Nano S Plus
Mm.
actually. Just have fun. Can we get ADA staking on Ledger Live? Thanks. So this is something that's in the works actually, and Cardano staking is coming. The funding of working on this is not coming from the foundation, so we need to go through Catalyst, which is a funding mechanism for this. So that's why it's a little slow.
Mm.
But that's the decentralization nature of Cardano. You just have to.
Fair enough.
CD. I cannot add XDC to my ledger. I see XDCE.
Okay.
So they need to add Ethereum
Yeah.
first.
So there's two things here. First of all, like make sure you've got the XDC app. So install the Ethereum app on your device. Install the XDC app to the device, so you have both apps installed on the device. Then XDC is not supported in Ledger Live, meaning that you cannot use your Ledger device to add an XDC account to Ledger Live. However, it is supported in by MyEther Wallet, which is a third-party interface that you can use with your Ledger device to create an XDC account. So that's what you should do. Go on support.ledger.com, type XDC, you'll find a tutorial on how to do just that. Do not send your XDC coins to your XDCE account, because XDCE is on Ethereum and you don't want to send XDC to Ethereum. Okay, so you really need to create an XDC account via third-party wallet first and send to that account.
Yep. Oh, Miss or
Park.
Mr. Park. If I buy another Nano X, is it possible to see my assets on both two different Nano X on Ledger Live and mobile app? Like I have one Ledger Nano Live set up now, and if I buy another, so it all depends on the private key that's on that Ledger Nano. So what do you need to do? If you want to see them both the same, reflecting the same accounts, then you need to set up them with the same 24 words. So you already have the 24 words from the first device that you set up. So on the second one, you set it up as recovery. I forgot the specific wording, but you just punch in your 24 words, and that device will have the same private key as the previous one. And then you just need to add the APPs of the coins that you need to use, preferably the same as the other Nano X, and then you have the same.
So it all comes back down
Yeah.
to your recovery phrase, right? The recovery phrase tells the app which accounts there is in the device.
Hi, Mr. Volt. Hi, guys. How do
Mr.
I
Volt.
know if my Ledger Live is with malware? I scanned my PC, but it's acting strange.
How is it actually strange? Can you give us some details? I think, like, scanning your PC is a first good step to take. If you could explain, like, how it is acting strange. Really, the biggest red flag when you're dealing with a fake Ledger Live app is when Ledger Live is asking you for a 24-word recovery phrase.
Yeah.
If that happens, then you should run away, right?
Yeah. And secondly, if it's showing when you're doing transaction, it's showing a different address on the screen of Ledger Live and on the screen of your Ledger. So that is for sure a malware. So you just want to make sure always trust the screen. Well, always look at the screen of your Ledger. That's where the fund is actually going if you go through with the transaction. But let's say there's like so much malware on this guy's computer or this girl's computer. What do they do?
Change the computer. Like reformat the computer. I would say like just get rid of it or use a phone. You know, instead of if you have an iPhone or Android, and if you're Nano X users, you can connect your Nano X to your phone to the Ledger Live app on your phone and use Ledger like that. And it's probably safer than using your Ledger device on an infected computer.
Yeah. Adrian, where did you go? Adrian Christie. My question for you is if you, Ledger, have a question for Gary Gensler.
Gary, we're not under the SEC jurisdiction.
Yeah.
That's the great thing because we're based in Europe.
Yeah.
But what would you ask?
What would I ask
Mr. Gary?
I don't know what I would ask Gary, to be honest.
Bitcoin ETF, Gary. Just come on, like we've been waiting for so long. Stop. Like people have to buy Grayscale, and those are inferior products in my opinion. So please, like just make it easier. More clarity in the US because in Europe we've got a different standard, of course.
I would wonder if he's gonna do MIT courses again and teach at MIT after this whole thing.
Oh yeah.
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 Ledger Live works fine in China when using VPN. I guess it's restricted to certain users then. It's weird. Jimmy Dean, thanks guys. I will never use a public computer. Great, don't do it.
Good for you, man.
Manolo Dinoy. Hello, my friends were scammed on Twitter. He thought he was talking to the Ledger support.
Yeah, so sorry to hear about that. It does happen. Twitter is a dangerous place in the sense that there's a lot of fake accounts. People will DM me pretending to be Ledger support or Ledger or someone working for Ledger or the CEO of Ledger, and then they will ask you to share your 24-word recovery phrase.
Yep.
So again, guys, never share your 24-word recovery phrase. Anyone asking you for it is a scammer. Before they ask you for your 24-word recovery phrase, they might say things like, oh, you need to sync your account or do this and that. But eventually they will always come back to, hey,
you need to validate your account.
Yeah.
That's one big one. You need to we just ran an update. You need to revalidate your account, something like that. They're just finding excuses to ask you for a 24-word.
Yes.
But just remember, whoever is asking for a 24-word is a criminal.
Yeah, that's the TLDR.
Yeah. Martin, Ledger Live Desktop does not retain my Litecoin account when I close up the app, reopen it, does not show the Litecoin accounts I add. When I try again, I get error code 134.
Okay, make sure you've got the latest version of Ledger Live. If that continues, please get in touch via support. Share your logs with us in your ticket so we can investigate. And apologies for this. This is a known bug. Make sure you update first, and then if that continues, then share your logs.
Kirk Angel 525. Why does the new Ledger Stacks have a black and white screen? Even cheap cell phones have a color screen. As we just talked about, the screen of any ledger is connected to the secure enclave, the secure element, which is insulated from everything else.
Mhm.
So current technology that we have with an e-ink screen is black and white, that we can connect it to the secure element. So
Mhm.
everything you see that drives the screen comes from the secure element, which means it's not hackable. Some of the screens that you would see, say like on the phone, it's not directly driven from a secure element, so you can't guarantee that it's not hackable.
So the secure element would have to support colors.
Yep.
For the color to show on the screen,
exactly.
right? Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
So that's the secure architecture of
Okay.
Ledger Stacks. So currently we only have black and white, and I'm sure if you see it in person, you're gonna.
It looks
change your
great.
mind. Yeah, it looks great.
The black and white looks great, honestly. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Meister Sound 63. How are you guys?
Good. How you doing?
Yeah, doing well. Thank you. JS Trader. When will the Ledger and the MetaMask mobile be compatible to make safe transactions? That's a question we got a lot. Still in the
Yeah.
works. It's just a little bit slow with deadlines. So stay tuned.
Mhm.
Or Edrof Fazcars.
Hello.
Fazcars.
Fast card. Yeah.
You missed my question earlier. Sorry about that. I'm trying to understand how VeChain works with Sync Plus.
Plus Ledger. Yeah.
Plus Ledger. If I lose Sync, do I lose my VET, or does the Ledger protect me?
No. So no. Sync is just like Imagine Sync is like Ledger Live the app, but specialized for only one blockchain, which is the VeChain blockchain. So Sync doesn't store your crypto. The crypto are stored in your Ledger device, right? Like the private keys to your crypto are stored in the Ledger device. If Sync goes down, then no problem. Your coins are still safe. Okay, you can use a different wallet compatible with Ledger, connect your Ledger device to that, and then you'll be able to have access to your accounts again.
Okay, Martin, I have the same problem on Nano S and my Nano X, and Martin's problem was the Litecoin account. So it's a Ledger Live issue, so just make sure they update to the latest version.
Yeah.
Onsenwi. Can I use the Ledger for Avalanche C chain?
Yes, you can. But Avalanche is not supporting Ledger Live yet. It will be, but you can use third-party Avalanche wallets and connect your Ledger device to it and use C-Chain.
Longzai. Ledger should improve more security on Ledger Live.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing is really secure.
Yep.
Honestly, like, as long as you don't share your 24-hour recovery phrase, then you're good.
Yeah. And then the other thing is, like, that's why we have a hardware wallet. That's because your computer is hackable. Like, everything that is running on the current systems, they're hackable. So that's why we have the hardware wallet. So you always need to make sure in your mind, when you're making a transaction, always look at the display on your ledger, because that is not attackable from a malware. Barry, if I want to use passphrase for added protection in the event my private keys are found and not for secret second account, how to proceed with PIN etc. Recommend you go to the help center article, just Google ledger passphrase or 25th word, and then you'll be able to see the video and the article that Dan wrote. That is much more in detail. Otherwise, we have to spend 10 minutes explaining here.
It's a long process. You'll have two pins basically for your secrets accounts and normal accounts, but yeah, it's explained in much more details in the video.
Yeah. A8730 question: will Ledger ever consider making solo staking hardware plus software, i.e., running your own node?
Yeah, that's a good question. So, the answer is I don't know if we would get there, but maybe eventually it would be interesting. Like, if I could put something on my wish list, would be like solo Ethereum staking hardware. That would be cool to have, and maybe like solo Bitcoin noding. That would be also cool. But that being said, you can already connect your own Bitcoin node to Ledger Live as well, so that's available.
Yep.
But yeah, that could be interesting, I think.
Yeah,
What
that
else,
would be
guys?
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
G3, when do you plan to include the price of Binance Smart Chain BSC for the tokens in Ledger Wallet app and BEP20 price?
Some tokens, some BEP20 tokens are supported, like their price is supported. Some are not, but it depends which token you have in mind. If you could share that in the chat, then we can escalate that to the devs.
Destructive. How can I change my 24-word recovery phrase without having to mess with my accounts? Well, you can't,
Yeah.
because those accounts are coming from your private key, which is represented by your 24 words. So if you want to not mess with your account, you can't change your 24 words.
Mm-hmm.
So those are tethered together.
Yeah. You'll have to send your funds out of your accounts, reset the device, create a new recovery phrase, remove your old account from Ledger Live, create new accounts in Ledger Live, send the funds back to your new account, and that's how you change your recovery phrase.
Yeah.
It's a long process, so unless you have a very burning reason for doing
Yeah.
it, like you suspect your phrase has been compromised, then you should definitely do it immediately. But if you don't have a good reason to do it, then I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, and well, it's a cumbersome
Yeah.
process, but if you have to do it, you have to do it. Just get two devices.
Yeah, you can get two devices.
Yeah. G Geek 2.0. Can you talk about the recovery phrase? The words are simple and it seems hackable. Can we change the words?
Good question.
24 words. Where does it come from? BIP 39. Go.
Tell us.
No, you go.
Yeah. So there is a standard called the BIP 39 standard, right? That has 2,048 words. The device, when you set up the device for the first time, the device will create a very long random numbers that will then be translated into some of the words on this list. Now it does seem random and hackable, but in fact the number of possible combinations of all these different words is so big that realistically no one can have the same private keys that you have. Like no one will ever have the same recovery phrase. So this is the security model, right? It's like this number of combination is so huge, so big, it's even impossible to imagine. It's in the trillions of 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 possible combinations, which means that realistically there will never be a collision. Collision being like two people having the same recovery phrase, aka the same private keys, right? So this is how it works. So is it possible? No, in practice it's not. However, it is hackable in the sense that if you give your words to someone, then they'll be able to very easily have access to your account. So again, never share your 24-word recovery phrase to anyone.
Yeah. This is actually a foundational technology that's called cryptography. So it's a one-way encryption.
Yeah.
So then you can't really break the other way, unless what's it called? It's
One-way function.
Yeah, it's a 256 word or it's a 128 word.
Bit. It's 256 bit.
Yeah. So
the random number.
Yeah. So your private key is actually 256 0 and 1s. Right?
Yeah, it's
it's a binary.
Number,
It's a random binary of 256.
Yep.
So then you can think of the amount of combination there are for this. So this is 2 to the 256th power. If you're good at math, think about how big that number is.
It's huge. It practically guarantees that no one will ever have the same account ever.
Yeah.
So it's that big of a number.
Yeah. Adroff Fast Cars. Thanks for the explanation on VET with Sync. Is this a Ledger product or a third party? I feel better after your explanation. Seems unusual, but if it's a workaround until full support, that's good.
So Sync is a third party that is fully compatible with Ledger and that you should use until we support VeChain in Ledger Live. But the security is provided by your Ledger device, right? Because the private keys to your VeChain coins will live in your device. That's why it's secure. By the way, if you want to learn how to use VeChain, you can go on our help center, support.ledger.com. You type VeChain sync, and then you'll find a tutorial that explains how to use it. And I hope you'll find it useful.
Why analytics and debug logs are open in default? Why some parts of the software are closed sourced? Thanks.
Okay. Yeah. So you can turn it off. I actually agree that it should be turned off by default. Although we're not leaking any personal information, of course, because we don't collect those. You can totally turn it off. But I get your point that I think also it should be turned off by default.
Yeah.
Why is it some part of the software is closed source? Yes. So two things about that. First of all, Ledger Live is completely open source, and the apps are also completely open source. Now, the secure element that runs on your device is what runs the apps, right? So if you go on GitHub and look at the code for each individual apps, this is the instructions that will run on your secure element, right? When you manipulate your private keys. So basically, all the information that's critical to security is actually open source. So yeah, I don't think it's a very known fact, but as long as you can read that code, then you know exactly how the Ledger device will behave when you manipulate your private keys. So yes, that's my take on it.
G3 anchor by example, ANKR by example, price appear on SafePal by example, under BEP20 and ERC20, but not on Ledger.
We'll escalate that. Yeah, we might not support that price yet.
Yeah. After receiving a dusk attack of a stablecoin, how to move the other same stablecoins without touching this dust attack fraction to avoid tracking, phishing, and frozen account on exchanges.
Yeah, you can't isolate. That's the problem with account types blockchains. You can't isolate the private that sum and not touch it, unlike you could with Bitcoin, for example, because each fraction of UTXO can be isolated. With an account type blockchain, you cannot, like on Tron or Ethereum, for example. But really the hacker, if you got like a dust transaction, the hacker already has access, like can already see the activity on your account, right? Because everything is public. So they can already track all your transactions by just looking at public information on block explorers. What you really want to avoid is like grabbing their address by mistake from your transaction history and sending them funds. And that's what they hope, right?
Yep.
So the attack is not, I can track your transactions, which is already public. The attack is, I hope this user will be lazy and will grab my address by mistake from Ledger Live and send me the funds instead of to someone else.
Yep.
If that makes sense, yeah.
JPL, if the Ledger company is compromised by the state or some other entity, and we as users cannot rely on the software delivered by Ledger anymore, can I use the seed phrase somewhere else? Yes. You can use the seed phrase anywhere. As we explained, it's a BIP 39 standard, so you can put it in any devices, hardware wallet or software wallet, although we don't recommend that. And even if that scenario happens, because we don't collect data on our software, I don't think there's anything you need to worry about.
So like Ledger, everybody will be fine, right? Even if Ledger disappears.
Yeah. Dan Shreve, do you have any discount code right now for buying nano devices? We don't. We don't have any discount right now, but if you refer your friend to buy a Ledger at the moment, and this is ongoing, we have a referral program where you will get $10 worth of BTC and your friend will get $10 worth of BTC.
Cool.
Yeah, so it's pretty good.
Where can you find information about
that? Just Google Ledger referral. There's a site for that.
Hey.
Yeah. And okay, Spartacus TriUnity V. How can I store AGIX on Cardano on the Ledger?
You just send your Cardano token to your normal Ledger Cardano address. Now, AGIX might or might not be supported. I need to check that, so they might or might not appear in Ledger Live. But if you don't see it in Ledger Live, then you can probably see it by connecting your Ledger device to a third-party wallet, such as Adelaide, Yoroi, Typhoon, Eternal. I mean, there is a slew of third-party options. All of them have tutorials on the Help Center, by the way, so you can check that out. I'm sure one of them will support AGIX.
Hoo-hoo, why your embedded secure chip is EAL5+. New secure chips are now have EAL7+.
Okay, I know there is a competitor that's using this as a marketing ploy, right?
Yeah. The secure feature on the secure element, their rating is, it's not linear.
Yeah.
So the security of chips that are EAL5+ and up are the same. It's just other different features on it. You can do a Wikipedia search, and this is abundantly clear. It's just because the number is bigger doesn't mean it's better. Just because something that is more expensive doesn't mean it's better. So.
Cheap marketing trick from the competition here.
Yeah. Psychology 101.
Yeah.
EVN, please never delist XRP XLM.
We don't intend to.
No. I think we will answer these questions, and then we have to be done with the day.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, why is Ledger closed source software instead of open source?
We are so there are parts of the stack that are closed source. I'm thinking about the firmware potentially, but the critical part of the security-wise, the critical part of the stack are open source. So LedgeDrive is open source. The app code, so what manipulates your private keys on the device when you're sending a transaction, that's also open source.
Yeah.
So if you're able to read app codes, then you know exactly what's going to happen inside the Ledger device when you're using it. So yeah.
Yeah. Juan, I have issue giving permission to use USDT on 1-inch app inside Ledger. Could you please help? Send us a support inquiry, support.ledger.com. Kirk Angel 525. Any plans on support Exodus wallet?
That'd be cool.
Yeah. It doesn't really depend on us, does it?
Yeah,
Exodus
no,
have to
no,
do
no.
it. Yeah.
Exodus have to want to do it.
Yeah. Recently, I had a strange coin, Boner.
Oh. Hey, well.
Okay. Deposed in my ledger by unknown sender. Why not put security against that? It was so scary because I felt my coins would be looted through that strange coin. It wouldn't,
okay.
but don't interact with it. And it's the blockchain. You can stop other people from sending you stuff.
Until we get a kind of abstraction maybe in
Yeah.
the future. But
Yeah.
for now, yeah.
Yeah. Jvri, how do you retrieve the prices on BEP20? I think we talked about BEP20 a lot.
Yeah.
And this is just something that if we need to add a ticker.
Yeah,
And
it's just like that. We just need
Yeah.
to list the
Yeah.
extra coin. But
Yeah.
so if you share the coin, then we can escalate that and
Yeah.
you will be supported in a future version of Ledger.
Yeah. Can you use Lightning Network to spend Bitcoin that is stored using
No.
the Ledger device?
No Lightning support.
No. Okay, that's it.
Cool.
Oh, last one. What coins do you guys hold?
Good question.
That should be a mystery. I don't think anybody needs to
Do you
know.
hold any coins? I don't. No.
I'm a no coiner.
No coiner.
No.
I like. Okay.
But I don't think we should share it.
Yeah.
No.
Bitcoin is here.
Okay, that's it. Thanks again, fellas. No problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks again, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks, JJ.
Yeah.
Again.
Have a good new year.
Yeah. Take care. Don't share your recovery phrase with anyone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rest well, and let's get to 2023.
Yeah.
Hopefully better than 2022.
We'll see you next year.
Yeah.
All right.
Bye bye.
Bye, guys.